up, YouTube family? So in this video, I'm not going to talk about real estate, okay, because I've done over 4,000 videos talking about wholesaling real estate. But in this video, I am going to talk about, okay, what's the life lesson that I have learned at 41 that actually helped me become financially free. And what I'm about to share with you, and I think that it's going to add a lot of value to you, all right, that I think will help you, put you in the right path and get you to that financial freedom a lot quicker than you think. A lot quicker than you think, okay? So I'm going to share with you the life lesson that I have learned that got me to where I am today and became financially free, okay? So the life lesson number one, I want you to understand, okay, that it's very, very important. For those of you, if you enjoyed this video and if it does add value to you, then be sure to, boom, smash the thumbs up. If you're new to the family, be sure to, boom, smash that subscribe button. And welcome to the family. And let's go get this money. Okay. So the life lesson number one that you need to understand, I think a lot of you, what it is that most people don't understand that financial freedom, okay, it's not that... It can be achieved even if you're working at a job, okay? But the question comes down to is being able to manage, okay, your money, okay? It doesn't matter how much money you make. It's what you can keep and reinvest that will set you free, my friend, okay? So I know there are people out there, some of you out there, that are making $300,000, $500,000, or even $1 million a year, but you're still stuck grinding, okay? You're still stuck working. You're still stuck basically in the hamster wheel. And the reason why is because you're spending more than what you make. It really comes down to that. It's you spending more than what you make. So you need to understand, how can you start live below your means, okay? Now, what happened here is, you need to understand, okay, is that when you're making $300,000, okay, but majority of you'll be like, well, I can afford, I can buy this, I can buy that. The monthly payment is not that high. But what happened is when you accumulate enough of the monthly payment, you will wake up one day and realize that the expense that you have to pay out is more than what you actually bring in. And that's the problem with, I think, America. Like in my country, man, majority of the time is cash. Okay? People pay cash for almost everything. But in America, obviously, there's credit cards, there's debts, there's loan that you can go get. And most people, what they do is that they think, oh, yeah, the car payment, it's only $500 a month. I'm making $300,000 a year. I can afford that, right? But you can't. You need to understand that when you can afford something is when you're able to buy it twice and able to pay it off, like with cash. So you're going to go buy that car? Can you buy it twice? And can you pay cash for it? If the answer is no, then obviously you can't afford it, okay? So a lot of people, what they need, they don't understand is, dude, managing your money is extremely important. It's a skill. It's the key that will set you free. It's a skill set, okay? I know people who make $500,000, even $1 million a year, are still having to work to keep up with their lifestyle, the lifestyle that they created for themselves, okay? And I think for some of you, if you can get rid of at least 90% of the stuff that you bought, and you could have taken that money and reinvested into asset, I think you would have been way better off than where you are today. You wouldn't have to work as hard. You wouldn't have to take on, you wouldn't need to take on an extra side or two hustle. Okay? You would be able to have the time freedom to actually enjoy your life. Okay? So if you get rid of 90%, but a lot of times what happens is that over time you have accumulated too much stuff. And that stuff is what keeping you trapped to grinding every single day. So lesson number one you need to understand, it's not how much you make, but it's what you keep and then reinvest. That, my friend, is what's going to set you free. Okay? So if you can understand that, if you make $300,000 And if you can live on 150, then you can keep the 150 and reinvest that 150. Now that is what's going to set you free. Okay, if you make 300, you live on 150, you set aside 150, you reinvest that 150. That's how you get ahead in life. That's how you become financially free. Okay? If you make $1 million and you spend $1 million, some people, this is what the average American people do. They make 100,000, but they live like once people hit 6-figure, they're like, oh man, I've made it. For some people, not for everybody, but for some, once they hit 100,000, they live like they're making $500,000. They go buy the biggest house. They buy a $70,000, $100,000 car. That car alone is what they make in a year. But once again, they don't look at it like that. They look at it like, oh my gosh, you know what? The monthly payment on this $100,000 car is only $700 or whatever. I can afford that. I'm making $100,000 a year. But they don't understand that one bad choices you make will lead to another and another and another. And these monthly payment, man, will quickly add up. And then you wake up one day and you'll be like, oh, shit. Where is all these bills come from? It's what you have collected over time. Just like everything else, it compounds over time. One good decision will lead to another, and so on. But one bad decision will lead to another, and so on. Compound effect over time. Understand that, okay? I'm going to share with you guys life lesson number 2 that I've learned. Okay, and I hope that you guys can learn this way before me and become financially free a lot sooner, okay? And like I said, I think a lot of you are in some of you, not all of you, but I think some of you, if you would have learned this, if you would have known this, okay, you would have been way better off today than ever before, okay? So number 2 is I want you to focus on, the key is to actually get rich, not look rich, okay? And most people don't understand what I'm trying to say here. The goal is to get rich, okay? So what you need to focus on is getting rich, not looking rich, okay? And a lot of people, what they're doing is they're out there trying to they're buying things to impress other people, to make people feel like they have made it, that they are successful. So they're out buying the cars, the house, and all of this stuff, okay, to prove, to show that they have made it, okay? But that is what's going to keep you trapped in the hamster wheel. So the goal is to get rich, okay? So how do you get rich? How you get rich is, once again, you take the money that you have, okay, and then you need to invest it first. This is the first thing you need to do, is you need to invest that money first. Then after you're done investing and it's making you money, that's when you buy the toy. So the toys comes right after you got rich. But most people do it the other way around, is they buy the toy to make themselves look like they have made it, look like they're rich. Okay? So what you need to understand is you need to get your priorities straight. Okay? So you need to look at everything, the car you're driving, the apartment, the house that you live in. Okay? If you were to simplify it, if you were to live a little bit cheaper, you would have a lot more money extra to actually reinvest. Okay? So get your priorities straight, my friend. Okay? Now, there's nothing wrong with looking rich and there's nothing wrong with that. But does your bank account match what you dress, what you wear, what you drive? It comes down to, is your bank account match? Okay, does it match the car, the house, okay, the stuff that you buy? Like, does it match? And a lot of time, I can tell you right now, is I would say 90% of the people that you meet in the street, 90% of them does not match. They might drive the car that you want. They might have the house that you want. They might have the stuff that you want, but their bank account is probably not where near what you want. And it's hard to tell because you can't just walk around and it said how much your net worth is. Maybe in the future, I mean, I actually don't mind that. Maybe in the future when you walk around with you, like just like in a video game, it'll show that person how much their net worth is. Or there's an app that you can log in to see what their net worth is. I think that would be pretty cool. All right. So it needs to match your bank account. Okay. That's important. Okay. Now here's something I also learned. Now I have to learn this the hard way. Okay. I want to share with you guys. I have to learn this the hard way. Number 3. Okay. And some of you might be exactly where it is today. Okay. Okay. This I have to learn it the hard way. You see, you need to understand that in life, you are going to go through season. There will be season in your life where you're making a lot of money. Where you're making, dude, you're just killing it. You're just killing the game. You're making a lot of money. And there will be season in your life where you don't actually make as much. This, everybody. It's happened to me. So let me explain with you this life lesson that I've learned, and I have to learn it the hard way. Okay, so hopefully you don't make the same mistake that I do. So when I was making a lot of money, I became careless. And the thing is, when I say careless, means like, dude, I was just putting my money everywhere. Somebody tells me, hey, here's a good idea. Here's something good to buy. So I go ahead and I put, 20K here, 30K here, 50K here, 100K here. Well, I'll be like, okay, not a problem. I'll make it back next month, right? So I'm starting to diversify, and I was putting my money everywhere. And then one bad business after another, and then things just start to tank. And then I end up losing all the money. Okay? So when you're making a lot of money, when you're winning, we became careless of how we spent, okay? And what the things that we spent our money on. So you need to understand that what got you where you are today. Like looking back, what have got us successful is that we're frugal, right? And when we make decisions, we take risk, but we take calculated risk. We think twice on what we spend our money on when we didn't have much. Make sense? And that's what got us to where we are today. But when I was winning, when I was making so much money, I became careless. Thinking that, next month I'll make it back. But you need to understand that sometime in life, business changes. And it changes quick. And then what we need to do is we need to adjust and we need to adapt. And if you don't adjust and adapt quick enough, especially in today's world, with AI, with technology, with how fast things are going, if you don't adjust and adapt quick, you will go out of business. So what happened is one of my businesses is not making as much money at it as it used to, and my expense has gone out of control because I was invested in everything, software, systems. I was creating things, putting my money everywhere. I was just everywhere. So my overhead got out of control. I didn't even know things that I've. That's how bad it got. So now I was using money from my other business to maintain and sustain the business that went out of control, that I was making money on. And when you have to use money from another business to fund another business to keep the other business afloat, dude, you know there's something wrong. So this means, but thank God, is that the wife, she has reserve. So you need to understand that there are seasons in your life. So when you're making good money, always make sure that you have reserve, my friend. And we also call it the emergency fund. Always have reserve an emergency fund for the rainy days. If I don't have this, dude, it would have been game over. If it weren't for the wife, it would have been game over. Okay? So you have to have reserve and you need to have emergency fund to fund through the storm. Because if you can pass through the storm, dude, your next level up, you make even way more money. Because every setback is 10 steps forward for you. You need to understand that. And every single time when we go through a storm, you need to understand that it's happening for you, not against you. God made that happen for you. He wanted to teach you a lesson. He wants you to learn something. He wants to show you that, hey, you're going to lose 1 million versus instead of 10 million. Because if you don't learn from your mistake today, dude, it's going to destroy you later on. So every step back, it's a step forward. You need to understand that. It's 10 steps forward. Okay? So if you get, the key is, can you withstand the storm? Like that's the key. Because if you have enough capital, you have enough reserve, if you can withstand the storm, because you need to understand, every single time when you adjust and you adapt and you're learning new things to implement into your business is going through a slow phase. You need to understand that. It's going through a development, a growth phase. So when you adjust and you adapt, it's going to slow things down. Because you're learning new things and you're implementing it into your business. Things you have never done, you don't know about. Right? Because you're now adjusting and adapting to the market. So you have the capital to withstand that 6 months, 7 months, or however long it takes you to adjust your business and adapt to the new things so you can launch forward, then you're going to make even more money. Okay? So make sure when you're making a lot of money, make sure you look back at what got you there. Okay? So when you're making a lot of money, when you are winning, dude, that's when you need to be the most careful. You know, this brings me back to when I was playing poker. When you know that the person when you're winning a lot of chips, you're like, dude, I have so much chips. There's no way that I will be down to, like, there's no way that I will have no chips. So you start to just making random calls. Call. And all of a sudden, there will be times where you're on the losing strikes. No matter, even if you have pocket ace, you end up losing on a stupidest hand. Because that's what's going to happen in life, my friend. In gamble and in business, in life, it's exactly the same thing. So when you're winning, when you became chips leader, you also need to take some time back. And when you start losing a couple hands, it just means that this is not your time to make more calls. It's the time when you did sit back and just throw in your hands and be more conservative. But when you're in the game, it's hard to see that. And that's why it's important if you have someone aside, your partner, your spouse, that tells you, hey, dude, chill. That's when you just need to chill. Okay? Now, for those of you, if you run a business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in this position, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't have a business before, you know, if your whole entire life was just an employee working for somebody else, you probably have no clue what I'm talking about. You have no clue what I'm talking about. So it's good that you actually learn this now so you don't make the mistake. But a lot of times, even if we watch the video, we learn, we listen to the podcast or whatever, or read it in the book, but a lot of times, dude, you have to go through the burn to understand. Like, you have to touch it and burn yourself to really understand exactly what I'm talking about in this video. Okay? So you might hear it today, but I'm telling you, in the future, you will go through the burn and you look back and you'll be like, yup, Khang is right. Because that was me. I was listening to other people saying it, and I was like, whatever. And then you got burned, and then you realize, dude, ouch, don't touch it again. Okay? So it's very important when you're winning to make sure you keep yourselves grounded. This is something I want to share with you about. And I believe it's so true. If God can give it to you, he can take it away from you just like that. And he will humble you just like that. So for me, it's make sure that when you're successful, when you're winning, doesn't matter how successful you are, make sure that you stay grounded. Treat everybody with respect. Okay? And remember where you came from. Because if you don't, and you lose yourself, and you became extremely cocky, and you treat everybody poorly, God will come, and he will take everything away in seconds. And he will humble you. I can tell you right now, everything that I have accumulated today and all the things that I have today, if it weren't for God, I wouldn't have it. Yes, hard work, luck, persistent, commitment, dedicate, like all of that came into play. But looking back at everything that has happened to me, if it weren't for God, dude, I wouldn't be here where I am today, doing the things that I do today. So I truly believe he can give it to you, and he can also take it back in second. So don't think you're the man, the woman, no, nobody can come and destroy me or take this business. No, trust me. If he can give it to you, he can take it from you. Okay? So which means, dude, if you became this horrible person, gone. Gone. He will humble you. And trust me, you don't want to be there. Okay? You don't want to get there. So always go back, treat people with respect. Remember where you came from and how you got here. It's because you treat everybody with respect. Okay? You care for everybody. Everybody that you meet, you respect them, you treat them right. Okay? So that's an important lesson that some of you need to learn. Okay? And that's why you see all the kids who got super famous, who all of a sudden make a boatload of money. All of a sudden they change. They treat like you can see through the way that they buy things. They treated the people. And all of a sudden, bam, they lost the fame, they lost the money, they start losing everything. And they go back to who they were. And they start to care more. They start to like, hey, you know what? Man, I need to treat people differently. That's right. God will humble you. Okay? Okay, so you guys need to understand that, okay? Very, very important life lesson. Okay? So let me see if there's any questions or anything that I can answer. Now, once again, I understand. Okay? That this is not real estate related, but I truly believe that this video is just as valuable as some of the video that I put out. All right, so let me see here. Who's on TikTok? Okay, we got 300 people on. Okay, good. So you guys are listening. So comment in with any questions or any concern that you guys got. Okay? That I can help you, move you forward. You see, when I see all these 20-year-old 20s that are out there buying the car, the mansion, I can tell you right now, most of these 20-year-olds think that they have it all figured out. They think that they know it all because I was there. But you don't know anything, my friend. Okay? When I see all these 20-year-old kids out there buying the car, the mansion, flexing the diamonds, the jewelries and all that, I can tell you right now that their bank account is probably not as much money as the things that they're trying to flex on social media. I can tell you right now. Okay? Because let me explain to you guys so you guys can understand how money work and how finance actually really look in real life. Like how things really, really look in real life. What it is to actually be a millionaire. To have $1 million in the bank, what it actually really, really looks like. Because I was there. So I can tell you what it really takes. So when you see all these 20-year-old out buying the car, the mansion, the vacation trips, the diamond, the grill, all of that, I can tell you right now, they're probably broke. They don't have the money that you think they have in the bank. Because here is what it actually really looks like. So let's just say that you made $1 million and you're out buying the car and you're out buying the mansion. But you also need to understand that Uncle Sam will also take about 40 to 50% of that money. So if you're in your 20s, you claim that you made the $1 million and you have the car, the mansion, and you're still broke. To me, I know the game. You're still broke. If that is what you choose to spend your money on. Because you need to understand that $1 million, Uncle Sam's going to take 40 to 50% of it. So you really only have about 600,000. And you're telling me that you got 600,000, you buying the car. The car is going to cost you 300,000. The mansion is also going to cost you, dude, depending on where you live, but you're talking about millions. That mansion is going to cost a few millions. So you claim that you make $1 million. Where's the $1 million? None. It's in the stuff. It's in the stuff. You're making payment on it. Make sense? So you need to understand. So most 20-year-old don't understand that you got to pay taxes. So when Uncle Sam start knocking on your door, man, you'll be like, dude, where am I come up with that 400 to 500K to pay? You see? So a lot of times when you're in your 20s and you're making all these money, and the one that actually make it, that actually have the money in the bank, they don't have the car. They're still driving an old car. Okay? They don't have a mansion. They're still living in a regular house. Okay? Because here is what happened in the real world. Here's what the real world actually looks like when you become a millionaire. Okay? Listen, I still live in the exact same house that I bought 15 years ago. When I was making six-figure, I was still driving a 1997 Honda. Let me tell you what the real world what it actually really looked like when you actually make $1 million. When you became a millionaire, your life don't really change much. It definitely got better, but it doesn't change a whole lot. Because for you to actually have the $1 million, most of the time, what you do is actually you invest first. So you out there, you're buying real estate, okay? You're like, man, I make $1 million, but how can I save 40% to 50% and not pay that to Uncle Sam? So now you're actually taking your money and you're buying asset. Instead of buying the car, you're buying asset. So on the surface, it doesn't look like you have made it. Because you don't have the supercar like most people think that a millionaire should buy, should drive. You're not living in a mansion because you don't have the extra money for that. So the money that you actually have is you buying asset. For some, you might put in stocks, you might put in crypto. But a lot of times, most people put in real estate because it is the safest and the most secure place to actually park your money. So on the surface, you're still driving the same car, you probably live in the same house, but you're actually owning asset. You have real estate to show. That's what an actual real millionaire looked like in the real world. So a lot of you need to understand the fantasy world, the Instagram world versus the real world. Okay? So let me explain to you guys so you guys can understand one more time. And this is where social media gets people confused. When you really live the life of a millionaire is when you're making between 5M to 10M. That's when you're actually living the $1 million life. In my personal opinion, it's when you're making between 5 to 10 million a year. Okay? That's when you're living the $1 million life. So you have the supercar, you might be in a mansion, right? One mansion, not two, not three. And probably, one supercar, not two, not three. It's when you're making between 5 to 10 mil. And you now can live that $1 million millionaire lifestyle. You're traveling, you're eating good, right? You have a supercar, you have the mansion. Now, at this point, man, you probably also have asset. You probably own some real estate as well. And you probably have some money in stocks into crypto. Okay? Just my personal opinion. But what happened on Instagram is that people flex the car, the house, the mansion, all of that, the vacation trips, all the money they spend on booze, the popping bottles, and go dropping $1,000, $2,000 at the club. That is Instagram world. The real world is completely different, right? So there's what I guess what I call is millionaire on IG, and dude, they're millionaire in actual real world. Okay, real world. Millionaire on Instagram and millionaire in the real world is two complete opposite. I need you to understand that. Millionaire in the real world usually don't have the supercar. Probably don't even have a mansion. Okay? Which means they're not spending millions of dollars on their mansion. They're probably just living in a regular house. But millionaire on Instagram is the opposite. Right? The cars, dude, the gold chain, the diamond necklace, and all that, all the blings, and all the vacation trip that they travel, spending thousands of dollars on vacation trip, and yada, yada, yada. Not a millionaire. I can tell you right now, unless they show me their bank with $1 million, they're not a millionaire. In my opinion, if you don't have $1 million in your bank, or at least asset that you can sell and take out $1 million bucks, you're not a millionaire. But for me, dude, I need to see that $1 million in the bank to consider that you're a millionaire. Otherwise, everything else you're showing me, I don't really care. Okay? That's just my personal opinion. Okay? So when I see all these 20-year-old, I know they ain't got no money in the bank. They don't. Now, if they're in their 20s and they're making millions, and I see the car that they drive, just a regular car, living in a regular house, or they're just, living in an apartment, I know that kid is legit. But if they starting to show me all the cars, the mansion, ain't got no money. They ain't got no money in the bank. I know. Been there, done it, play the game. Okay? Dude, it's hard. It's hard. It's not as easy as you guys think. And a lot of people, what they do is they underestimate what they can accomplish in a year, or they overestimate what they can accomplish in a year and underestimate what they can accomplish in 10 years. Because most of you don't play the 10-year game. You don't play the 10-year game. You want to get rich in a year. You want to get rich in 6 months. And I can tell you right now, in reality, it doesn't happen in a year. You're not going to go from 0 to $1 million in a year. In real life. Now, can it happen? Yes, but very rare. Very rare. So for me, it's going from $1 million to a millionaire, probably going to take you at least 3 to 5 years. That to me is more realistic, much more achievable. So you have a goal to be a millionaire, and you can commit 3 to 5 years to build a business, to sacrifice no clubbing, no party, no drinking, none of that, and just focus on building your business, building your career, and you're willing to do that for the next 3 to 5 years, you, my friend, will become the next millionaire. But if you tell me, hey, Khang, watch me, I'm going to become a millionaire by the end of the year, and you're starting at 0 or you're starting at 10K, ain't no way, dude. Ain't no way. Dude, I know how hard this game is. It's not as easy as you think. It's always easier to say than actually do it. And when you're actually going through the game, actually doing it, dude, it's waking up every day and you're putting in the work, and you're not seeing the results. You get discouraged month after month, the bills coming in, and dude, it's hard, man. I've been there. Started from the bottom. Okay? So that is why there's a saying that it takes 10 years for an overnight success. And that's why only 1% make it to the top. because nobody willing to play the 10-year game. Everybody is in the 10-month game. They want to get rich and become a millionaire within a year, within 5 months, within 6 months, within a month. And that's what's going to cost them to fail and to lose. And let me explain to you guys why, so you guys need to understand. Let's just say that someone is overweight, okay? Let's just say someone's overweight. And this is why people actually fail at everything, man, even in fitness. Let's just say that someone's overweight and they want to get shredded, slim, summer body. And so one of Lon's coach or trainer, she said that people would come to her with the most ridiculous goal. Okay, I need to lose 20 pounds, man. By summer, I only got two months or 3 months to do it. She said, dude, at this point, what you're doing, dude, she said people come with the most unrealistic goal. So after 30 days, they lost 5 pounds. And they're like, oh, dude, ain't gonna get there, man. Or I'm not talking about 20 pounds, maybe 30 pounds. They'll be like, oh, after a month, I only lost 5. Nah, not fast enough. Boom, they quit. But they don't look at progress. Dude, you lost 5 pounds. You are 5 pounds lighter 30 days ago. You see, now I'm not a health fitness guru, but I understand just a little bit, just enough to share these facts with you. If you want to be on a healthy losing weight, losing between 1 to 1.5 pounds a week is healthy. Okay, 1 to 1.5 pounds per week is healthy. It's something that you can maintain and continue doing consistently. This is a healthy way of losing weight. I've seen people go extreme, and guess what happened? It becomes a yo-yo. They go up and then they go down. They go up and then they go down. You see, because it's not sustainable. You cannot sustain that. And I know there's people who go to surgery and do all of this, but you need to understand, man, to stay fit, to keep the weight off, it needs to be a lifestyle. If you can understand this, my friend, you see, it needs to be a lifestyle. If whatever it is that you're going through and you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to get fit, if that cannot be a lifestyle, it's not sustainable. Here's what I mean. You're like, dude, okay, I'm going to go. Dude, I want to lose weight so bad, I'm going to go to the gym 4 hours. Dude, but can you do 4 hours a day for the rest of your life? The answer is no. Majority of you. You see, when you understand it's a lifestyle, here's what I mean. It's even when you go on vacation, it still needs to be a part of your daily routine. You got to eat clean. Okay, you got to eat clean and you got to work out, my friend. It's like you cannot, there's no way to get around that. Do you understand? So what I'm saying is that when you look at a diet plan, please, when someone give you a diet plan, the question you need to ask yourself is, can this incorporate into my lifestyle? Can I make this a lifestyle? And if the answer is no, then it's not the plan for you. You need to come up with a different plan. So for me, for example, I do what's called intermittent fasting. So I don't, like, my morning is busy, so I don't really eat in the morning. I don't need to eat in the morning. So I don't eat in the morning. And so all my calories is consumed between, dude, probably 2 o'clock to like 7 or 8 o'clock. Okay? So see the fasting period, okay? So let's just say that you get, oh man, I'm not a fitness guru. I don't think that I should get into this but for some of you guys, you actually need this information. So let's just say that you get hungry at night because you're on a calorie deficit. You're trying to cut down your calories to lose weight. Man, Here's something you guys need to understand, okay? Now, you don't need to go to the gym every single day to lose weight. I need you to understand that, okay? And you don't have to cut out everything you eat. It all comes down to you need to measure and calculate everything you put in your mouth. Okay? So here's what happened. So if you want to lose weight, you need to go on a calorie deficit. So if you take in less calories than you burn more than the calorie you take in, you're guaranteed to lose weight. You see, I grew up, my parents and the people around me used to tell me, do not eat past a certain time. And you eat and you sleep, you're going to gain weight. Wrong. You can eat at midnight. You can eat at 1 o'clock in the morning and you still be okay, my friend. That's what I use. Like that's the belief that they put in me. Okay? But hey, if you eat past a certain time, dude, you're going to gain weight. If you eat and then you sleep, you're going to gain weight. Or you eat and you take a nap, you're going to gain weight. But the answer is, but all that are false. It's not true. The key thing is you need to understand the calories that you take in, whatever you take in, if you can burn that, then you're good. So that's the first thing you need to do is you figure out your calories. So for me to maintain, all I need to eat is around 700 calories a day to maintain my weight. Like it's not going to go up, it's not going to go down. I have figured this out. So for me to lose weight, which I don't want, I need to be like below 1,500. That's for me to lose weight. For me to gain weight, I need to be at about 2,000 calories per day. Okay? So once you figure this out, dude, doesn't matter how much you eat or what you eat. As long as you hit your calories, you don't even need to work out. You can still lose weight. Make sense? So if you cut your calories down to 1,500, this is when I'm going to lose weight. And you don't even need to work out, and you can still lose weight. Make sense? And so if you're taking in more calories, dude, it doesn't matter how much workout you do, you're still gonna gain weight. Because that cheeseburger, dude, you need to run like, I don't know, man, you need to run like 100 miles just to burn off that one freaking Big Mac. So a lot of times, most people say, oh, I'm gonna burn it off, but it's almost impossible. If you take in all the bad food, it's almost impossible for you to burn it off in a day. Like it's almost impossible. That's why it takes months. It takes years for people to build the physique, but it only takes you a month or two to destroy it. Just like building a business. Just like making money. It's the exact same thing. It takes years to build the physique that they want. But dude, if you eat bad for a couple months, all of that is gone. It's like all that hard work, it's gone. Right? Because you cannot burn it fast enough. I know, I'm getting into a different, I know, some of you guys like, okay, I don't need to know about this, okay? But I hope for some of you, if you have, health issue, and you want to lose weight or you want to get fit or whatever it is, you definitely need to start figuring it out, okay? Because I have a friend who's trying to lose weight, and he works out way more than me. Dude, when he works out, he just works out hard, but he also eats very bad. And I just look at it, and I just know that he will never lose weight because you can never burn it fast enough. Okay, and that's why when I see people that's why when you see people who are successful, you need to understand that they have made so much sacrifice. They have made more sacrifice than you have ever will in your life. When you were partying, clubbing, having fun, going on vacation, guess what they were doing? Working, grinding, learning. When you're watching entertainment, they're watching education. When you're listening to music in the car, they're listening to self-education. So same thing, when I see people with a six-pack and they're ripped, I just know, man, that guy or that girl, dude, they must have eat very clean. They must have worked out, you know, at least 3 to 4 times a week, and they're just on top of their game. And I just respect them. When I see people with abs year round and that is shredded, or they were overweight and then they're able to like zone in and cut down and slim and get the 6-pack, dude, I have so much respect for those people because I know how hard it is. I know what they have to sacrifice to get there. I know what the price they had to pay to get there. Same thing with making money. So when I see people with a big business, okay, for example, when I see people who's making 10 million, 20 million a year, and then they have, you know, 20, 30, 50 employees. You know that when I look at this, I am never envy or jealous of them. Never. Because you know why? Because I know what I want. And I know for a fact that for them to get to the point where they're making 10 million a year, 20 million a year, 50 million a year, 100 million a year, you need to understand that these people, dude, they have made so much more sacrifices that you won't even believe. So I know for me to get to where I am, dude, I already knew I have to make all the sacrifices. So the question is, how much more sacrifice do I have to make to go from where I am to 20, 30, 50, 100 million a year? Dude, I just know. And I'm just not willing to. That's when you know what you want. You see, for me, I do believe if you can get majority of the people, I would say 90-something% of the people in the US, in the world, if you can get to $25,000 a month, and if you know how to manage your money, live below your means, I think if you can get to $25,000 a month in net take home, I think, I don't care what city, what state you live in, you can actually live a pretty decent life. Now, you're not going to have a supercar. You're not going to be in a mansion, but you can travel a few times a year. You can, go on a vacation trip. You can spend time with friends, with family, and you can actually enjoy your life. I think $25,000 a month, even in 2025, with inflation where it's at, dude, I think it's a good amount. Now, if you can get to $50K to $100K a month, dude, at this point, man, you're living a pretty darn good life. Anything beyond this, anything beyond 100K, bro, to be honest with you, it's not going to make you any happier. So I guess there is a study. There's a study that said if you make $75,000 a year, you are happy. If anything beyond that, it's not going to make you any happier. I don't believe this is true. I believe, dude, that's even $75,000, dude. In today's economy, you're struggling. If you live in California, New York, Seattle, dude, you're struggling. Do you agree with me? But that is what the study said. If you Google it, dude, they said anything more than $75,000 ain't gonna make you happy, bro. You ain't gonna happy right here. But I do believe that if you're making $100,000, even at $50,000, if you're at $100,000 a month and you're not happy, making $1 million a month ain't gonna make you happy. I truly believe that, because at $100,000 a month, my friend, you can do almost anything. You can buy the supercar you want. You can live in the mansion you want. You can travel first class. Now, you're not going to fly private. Maybe once a year you can, right? But dude, at 100K, dude, life is just super good. Super good. And if you're not happy here, dude, you ain't going to happy at $1 million, $3 million, $5 million, or $10 million a month. Making more is not going to make you any happier. I can tell you that right now. Almost guarantee you. Okay? And TikTok family, if you agree, make sure you double tap the screen, give this video a share. Okay? Okay, now we're down to 190. Okay, 190 is better than 90. So, do you guys, any one of you, comment and let me know what you're currently making right now. But I think for a majority of you, your goal is, how can I get to $25,000 a month? That should be your goal number one. How can you get to $25,000 a month? Okay? And then the next one is, how can you get to $50 a month? So all we do is going to double it. And then how can we get to 100,000 a month? Okay. But I think you need to start here. Okay. You need to start here. Randy said 15K a year. Come on, man. Randy, you must live in another country. Oh, I want to touch on another topic. For those of you who wants to retire early, like I'm talking about like early. Here's the best thing that you can do. If you want to retire early in your 20s and you're making, let's just say 5,000 a month. Okay? If you're making 5,000 a month and you just want to retire and don't want to work hard anymore, maybe a few hours a day, this is exactly what you need to. I mean, this is what I would do. Dude, live in a different country. Live it, go live it. Dude, with technology, with AI, with business, that, you know, with things that you can do, there's remote jobs that you can make 5,000 a month. You go live in Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam. In my country, if you're making 5,000 a month, you live like a freaking king. You can have maid, you can have chef, you can have people who cook for you, who clean for you, all of that. Okay? If you make 5,000 a month, man, in my country, dude, you can live on 5K and probably still save money. 2,500 a month will give you a pretty decent life in my country. Okay? You can live in a nice condo. You can have someone who cook for you, who clean, dude, and you can still have some left over. And you can go and enjoy your day and do all of this. And you can really be set. So what it is if you just want an easy life, what you do is you make income money, you make US dollars, but you live in a different country. That is how you do it, my friend. That is how you retire in your 20s and just have a very simple, good life. Dude, in my country, man, for the entire day, $20 you can eat all day. $20, dude, it's in good. Get you 3 good meal. $20. 3 good meal. $20. Come on now. A condo, okay, that you can rent. Dude, 100. Dude. $500 a month, my friend. Get you a pretty nice one. Okay? So anyways, I mean, that's just what I'm sharing with you. For those of you who just want an easy, that's the route to go. Okay? That's the route to go. Okay? But once again, you want to get to 25K to 50K and then to 100K. And I think at 100K, dude, you're set, man. You should be locked in and you should be set. Okay? What other questions you guys got? Okay? Now here's something else I want to touch base with you guys on. Okay? Randy said, what is your opinion on college? So Randy, I get this question, man, almost all the time. And I think it's because, you know, I have a lot of followers on TikTok. But I get this question all the time, man. Here's what I think about college. The question you need to ask yourself, Randy, is, are you wanting to make money or are you want a degree? That's it. So the question you need to ask yourself, Randy, is that are you more focused on, hey, I just want to make money, get rich, and become financially free? Or are you the type of guy who's like, you know what? I don't care about the money. They always say that. They always say, I don't care about the money. But at the end of the day, it still it's about the money. Yeah. Or are you the guy who want to go to college because you wanted that degree? You want to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, whatever it is, a pilot, whatever it is that you want that needs the piece of paper. You'll be like, Khang, dude, I want to be somebody, and that person needs a degree. Then obviously you got to do what you got to do, Randy. Then you got to go to college, man. That's the only way that you can get that piece of paper. But if you tell me, hey, I don't need a piece of paper, I just need to find something that I can do to get rich and be free, then I would tell you college is the worst way to do it. It's a waste of time. I don't care if your parents pay for you. But what it's costing you, dude, is your life. Now you're stuck there for 4 to 8 years. You see within the same amount of time, Randy, you can learn a skill and then master the skill and then build a business out of skill. And within that 4 to 8 years, dude, you can become a millionaire. Make sense? Instead of a college degree. So what I'm saying, even if it's free, but it's not free because time is money. So they take 4 to 8 years of your life to get a piece of paper that'll make you 100,000. Versus you can take the same amount of time, learn a skill, master the skill, build a business, and make millions. So you tell me, which route do you want to go? But I can tell you right now, dude, either way is hard. Choose your hard. Okay? I hope that answered your question, Randy. Khang, I'm also Vietnamese, and it's the parents, man. Listen, Randy, I need you to understand this. Same thing. I dropped out of high school when I was 17. My mom and dad, dude, were very disappointed at me. They were ashamed, almost disowned me. But you need to understand, Randy, that this is your life, and you only got one shot, one opportunity. Are you going to let it slip away, or your parents, right? What are you going to do? So you need to understand, Randy, at the end of the day, dude, it's your life. You only got one shot at it. And if you're going to do it because of your parents, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to realize that, dude, I spent 4 to 8 years living the life that I don't even wanted. It was for my parents. And you're basically going to have this grudge or remorse. You're going to have this thing against them. Instead, you'll be like, you know what? To be honest, Randy, at the end of the day, I think every single parent just want us to be successful and be happy. So if you decide, you know what, you're going to pursue temporary, they're going to be unhappy with you. But in the long run, you know, are you going to pursue something that'll make you happy? And then eventually you come back and take care of them and will make them happy. And listen, when you decided to do that, Randy, there's going to be a lot of noise coming from your family. But you need to be able to get rid of that distraction and let them talk. And you just need to be an underdog. So here's what I mean, Randy. When Lon and I was living in a shed behind a mobile home park, so I dropped out of high school when I was 17. I met my wife at the age of 18, and we moved into this little shed behind a mobile home park. So when I was living there, dude, my parents like, dude, come home. Like, why are you living here? Like, they were very upset. And they want me to go back to school, get my, a GED, etc., and become somebody. Somebody that they can be proud of. But I didn't. I zoned out the noise. I distanced friends. I distanced my family. And I just put my head down, dude, and I did what makes me happy. And you need to understand, dude, it's Randy, your parent gave you life. Which means, dude, like they gave you one of the most important things ever. Right? So it's good for us to go back and take care of our parents. But you need to understand that it is your life, not their life. You need to do what you want to do, my friend. And I tell you, Randy, life is short, bro. Life goes by so fast, dude. I'm 41 now. And I remember like it was yesterday that I was just 20-something. And all of a sudden I wake up, boom, 41. That's how fast life will pass you by, bro. So the question you need to ask yourself, Randy, the most important question you need to ask yourself is, are you willing to sacrifice the next 5 years of your life, okay, to live like no one will? Which means, Randy, dude, it's going to be lonely. It's just you're grinding. All you do is this, dude, eat, work, and sleep. That's all you do, bro. But then you can spend the next 50 years of your life, go back, retire your parents, take care of them, pay off their bills, pay off their mortgage, right? Send them on a vacation trip. Like, really take care of them. And I'm telling you, dude, if you can do that, bro, your parents will be extremely happy and proud of you, even though you don't have the college degree that they wanted. Okay? So that's what I can tell you, Randy. If you're going to pick the entrepreneur route, you need to understand, bro, there's no picnic, there's no vacation trips, there's just none. which means you're trying to spend the next 5 years building the life that you want, building the business that can make you a lot of money so you can come back and take care of your parents and retire them. So you need to sacrifice someone in your family, dude. Okay? Here's a quote that I saw. So this guy posts something that he's like, if you're not born in a rich family, your duties is to make a rich family out of you. Oh, I mean, I probably chopped the quote, but it's something like that. So most of us are not born in a rich family, but our duties and our responsibilities is to make a rich family out of us. So we got to get rich. Somebody in the family got to do it, my friend. And Randy, if you're here with me, I do believe that everything happens for a reason. The reason you're here and the reason why we have this conversation, it is meant to be. Someone got to break the generation curse of being poor and create a rich family. Now, the reason a lot of time when you guys see me share stuff on social media, for example, we dropped $14,000 on a business class. I remember Lon and I, when we were flying, we used to sit in economy. And I passed by the first class seat people all the time, and I was inspired. I was motivated. I wasn't envy or jealous. I was like, man, God, please help me. Dude, one day I just want to make it to the top of the plane. People tell me this. They said that when you make it, is when you sit in the front of the plane and in the back of the car, because now you have your own driver. But I love driving. Okay, I love driving. So that's when they said that you know that you have made it. You sit in the front of the plane and in the back of the car. So Lon and I always had, dude, we're like, man, want to make it to the front. And so now we dropped $14,000 on a business class back to Vietnam. And for those of you who don't know how long the flight is back to Vietnam, when I share the post where we dropped $14,000 on a business class going back to Vietnam, dude, you know how many people drop hate comment and say, oh, I would never spend that kind of money on a plane ticket. I rather would have taken that $14,000 and do something else and invest it. You see, I need all of you to understand this. Is money give us choices. When you have to pick between one or the other, then it means you don't make enough money. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Dude, all money is give us choices. You want to drive a Honda or Ferrari? You want to sit in first class or economy? You want to go private or whatever it is? You want to drop $20,000 on a vacation trip or you don't? You see, money give us choices. And when you have to pick between one or the other, it means you don't have enough money. It means you cannot afford that thing that you're trying to buy. So, for Lon and I, we dropped $14,000 on the business class. We dropped $30,000 on our vacation trip, and we still donated money when we go back to Vietnam. You see, you don't have to pick. But when you have the money, the key is you need to spend it on the thing that you want. That's the most important part. It's the thing that you want, not what people tell you that you should spend your money on. For example, people be like, oh man, look at that guy. He's wearing Old Navy. So I was wearing a sweatpants and Old Navy shirt. Oh, and he spent $14,000 on for business class. I would have rather put that money in buying better clothes. But you need to understand that I don't care about designer clothes. I don't care about a little LV logo and pay $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 for a shirt. Like I can buy, but I don't care for it. So why would I buy it? So you can think that I'm rich? So you can think that I'm successful? So I buy for you? Why would I buy for you? Dude, I work hard for my money. So you need to understand that when you work hard for your money, you spend it on what you want. So for me, I don't care about designer clothes. But dude, you guys don't understand. Until you fly to my country, you will understand. Dude, it's a freaking 13-hour straight flight. And I remember sitting in economy, sitting like this. Dude, you got both people on the side, like you can't even move. I was sitting like this. 13 hours? Dude, when I get off the flight, oh, my back is just killing me. Why would I want that? Now that I got the money that I can afford it. I mean, this is why I work hard for. I work hard because I don't want to sit in the economy for 13 hours like this. I want to be laid down and go to sleep. Dude, so now I used to be extremely scared going back to my country because of the flight. I was like, oh my God, it's a nightmare. I hated it. I never ever wanted to go. Right? But I love the country. Obviously, my country, I love it so much, right? The food is absolutely incredible. All right? So anyways, but now for me, Lon say, hey, let's go to Vietnam. I say, let's go. Because it's easy. I'll just go in there, I'll just sleep. Freaking sleep for like 6-7 hours. I woke up, I eat, they bring out the meal, boom, 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 chow down, watch a couple movies, and I'm there. I'll be like, dude, let's go, baby. So it's been a lot easier. Like it's easy. Okay? But once again, dude, when you have the money, give you choice. That's what it is. People said, oh, money don't buy you happiness. Okay, fine. Money don't buy happiness, but it buys you choice, man. When you don't have the money, you don't have a choice. Like you just have to sit in the economy. Like you just have to drive the Honda. You just have to go to work. Right? You just have to. You don't have a choice. And that's why I believe everyone should get rich. For one reason. They give you choices. You want to retire your parents? You want to buy them a new car? You want to give them $10,000 this month just because you made $200,000? Done. So for the people who said, oh, you know what? I buy the car, but then it didn't make me happy. Dude, because you're not a car guy. You were never a car guy. You bought the car, you bought the Lambo, you bought the whatever it is. It's because that's what you think that you should buy now that you're rich. So when people tell me, oh, yeah, you know what? Oh, the supercar doesn't make you happy. Oh, no, bro. If you're a car guy, it will make you happy, okay? Dude, every single time when I'm in Baby Rari, I'm just as happy as the day that I got it. And people's like, oh, the guy is leasing the car. Bro, let me show you, dude. Okay, hold on a second, YouTube family. All right. Okay, never mind. My TikTok live just went out. Okay. Sergio said I make 2.5 a month, so 2,500 a month. I'm in the military. Sergio, the average income in America. Sergio, you need to hustle it up, man. Okay. I need you guys to understand. Comment in how much money you're currently making right now, and what is your goal. I'm going to show you guys how to get to $25,000 a month with a side hustle, with something that you can just do part-time. It doesn't even have to be full-time. I have student that's in the military. Let me pull up the, I have a video that I post. He's in the military, man, and he made a lot of money wholesaling real estate virtually, okay? So the average income in America is, let me see here. Let me chat GPT. Okay. It was at 57. I want to know what it is now. All right, chat. What is the average income in America? It used to be 57,000. Let's see what it is today. Okay. Let's see what it is today. Real medium household income is $80,000. A separate source listed 77. Okay. So you need to understand it's 70. Okay, so it's now 77,000. Okay, so if hold on a second. Oh, okay. The average wage in 2023 approximately 63,000. So if it's 63,000 divided by 12, that is $5,000 a month. If you make less than $5,000 a month, dude, you are below average. I just want you to understand that. Like, I want you guys to look at this and say, dude, I need to hustle it up. That's right. Dude, the average income is $5,000 a month. That is $67,000 a year. Okay? And you're not even making that. You got a lot of work to do, my friend. Okay? So let me show you a side hustle or a bit that you can do part-time that can make you this, my friend. Who here would like to bring in an extra $100,000? Okay? And I believe that over time, this side hustle can make you $25,000 a month. Okay? That is $300,000 a year. Randy, would you like to build a business, dude, that can make you $300,000 a year? Yay or nay? No college degree, no license, no GED, okay? No diploma, no PhD, okay? Sergio said, I bought your course for $10K. Let's rock and roll, Sergio. So, Sergio, my goal now, dude, is to add a few zero to your bank account. And Sergio, I want to say congrats, dude. Congrats for making the move. Congrats for investing into yourself. 12 years ago, I pay my mentor, Sergio. So you pay 1/10 of what I pay. I pay my mentor $100,000. And most people said I overpay. But he's the one who taught me how to make $100K a month. Okay? If I didn't make the investment, I would have not got here to where I am today. Okay? Oh yeah, Jericho closed on a big deal. I think it's $173,000. And he's 23. So anybody can do this. Okay? So let me show you a side hustle so that you can do it, okay? So who here knows what wholesaling is? If not, let me take some time and explain to you what it is. Okay? No license, no degree. It's something you can start today. Like now. So Randy, my question to you is, are you ready to put in the work now? Okay? Sergio said crazy work. Yeah, dude, that was crazy. Okay? And Sergio, I think you came in after Andrew. Andrew is another student. Dude, his biggest deal was $288,000. One deal is on a single family home. That was insane. It took him 9 months. But dude, 9 months to make $288 all day, every day, baby. But do not want to stop when the school starts, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So let me get straight to the point, okay? So here's something that you guys need to do, okay? So step number 1, okay? So there's this software that I'm going to share with you right now. Okay, it's called kingdata.ai. Here's the list I want you to pull. I'm going to share with you guys the screen. So who here has a software that they can go to and actually pull a list from? And they can start calling the homeowner now. Okay? Action speaks louder than word, you guys. Action is what's going to get you the results. Not talking, not watching, not listening. Okay? Randy, consider switching to kingdata.ai. Let me show you. Bam. So comment in your city, your states, guys. I'm going to show you what list to pull. I'm going to show you how to pull the list. Okay? Comment in your city, your state. I'll show you what list to pull. I'll show you how to pull the list. And let's rock and roll. Okay? And I need you to target, dude, absentee owner. I need to target tax delinquents. I need you to target free and clear. This is the 3 lists for those of you, if you're starting out, if you're brand new. This is the list I want you to hit. Okay? Sergio said, I have a speech problem. Sergio, listen to me. Okay? I don't know if you know Andrew. Andrew has a very, very thick accent. He's Vietnamese. And I can tell you, dude, when I first met him, dude, I did not believe that he would be able to close a deal. Because his accent was so bad, dude, that I didn't believe that he was going to be able to close a deal. And he proved me wrong. and how he did it, dude, but he was committed and he was consistent. He made over 40,000 phone calls. He locked himself in the room and he would just work. And he made it happen, dude. I believe that hard work will outbeat talent, and hard work, dude, will outbeat whatever situation, circumstances, or anything, any problem that you have. So Sergio, for me, I have a stutter problem. It might not seem like it because I'm starting to practice where I slow down the way that I talk. But if you listen to me live on some of the other live stream, I have a stutter problem. Okay? And I didn't let that hold me back, dude. And you shouldn't either, Sergio. You don't need to speak perfect English, okay, to actually do this. Okay? Here we go. So here's the list of, well, so we're going to take, so come in your city. Okay, Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'm going to take Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay? I can't even spell Charlotte. Charlotte. Okay. So all we're going to go is you sign up. Your dashboard is going to look exactly like this. You're just going to hit on property leads. This is how simple that you, like I literally tell you what you need to do. You just need to just do it. I'm begging you. Like just put in the work. Because nothing happens if you don't make a move. If you don't put it, like nothing will happen. And I know some of you be like, well, Khang, I just need to figure more things out. No, you don't. You already know what you need to do. You just need to do it. I'm telling you what to do right now. Sign up for the software. Here's the list that you're going to pull. It's going to, dude, it looks exactly what I got right here. Then you click on property leads. And then you type in your city and your states. We're going to go with Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte. Okay, hold on. Charlotte. C-A-R-L-O-T-T. T-T-T-T-E-N. Okay, E. I'm not even pretending. Okay, I really don't know how to spell it. So here the search is going to come out. Okay, 294,000, which is too many people. So we're going to go to filter. You're going to click on filter. We're going to get rid of others. We're going to get rid of apartments. We're going to get rid of townhouse. We're going to get rid of condos. We just want single family and multifamily. Okay? So it tells you that there are 9,000 people, boom, that are in tax default, which means they owe property tax. If they don't pay it, the city or the county is going to come after and take their property away. And some of these people might just owe $1,000 or $2,000 on their property tax, and they can't afford to pay it. Dude, that's very, very high motivation. I love the tax delinquent list. You go in there, bam, 9,000. You click on results. Here is what is cool. For anyone who signs up for the software, I will pay for your skip tracing. So you never have to pay for skip tracing ever again. Now, let's just say that you drive around and you found a house. You take down the property address. You go to this website. You punch it in. Boom. You click on it. It will skip trace for you. Okay? So you watch this. So now all you do is, I got this property. Boom. Click on this property. Now these people, now this is on a do not call list. Okay? So instead what I would do is I would send them a letter. I would also text them. Okay? And now let's just say we go back. Go on to the next property. You got 9,000 people. And I can tell you right now, out of those 9,000, there is one motivated seller in there. Now, you will get a lot of no's, but all you need, my friend, is focus on what matters. You only need one yes. All you need, like I want all of you guys to understand this. You only need one yes a month. That's all you need. So when you get on the phone with all these people and they say no, or they want too much for their property, do not get discouraged. Because every no is going to lead you closer to yes. And all you need, my friend, is one yes a month. That is it. And if you can stay focused on that, my friend, you're going to get it done. So all we now going to do is, boom, you got this list, bam, right there. It tells you their email address. It shows you their phone number. I'm going to call them. I'm going to text them. I'm going to say, hey, I work with a group investor. We're looking to buy some property in the area for cash. Came across your property. Just curious, are you interested in getting a free, no risk, no obligation cash offer from us? Bam. Just like that. Okay? John said, I'm based here in the Philippines. Been in sales for 15 years. Will your program work for me? Oh my gosh. John, let me tell you something, John. If you are already in sales, John, most of my students that got the quickest results is the one that are in sales already. Dude, if you can sales, bro, all we do now is we're going to take the script with the real estate, implement it, train you on it, bam, you will become a beast. If you already have the sales skills, the sales background, John, getting into this is not that hard because you can pull the list. You've probably been on the phone. No, you can talk to people, right? You're good at probably persuading, selling, getting people to sold people on whatever it is. Now we just need to take that skills and implement it with real estate and show you here are all the things, the perks that you need to tell them, and bam. So John, absolutely you can do this, my friend. And is my program, bro, you kidding me? Now, for those of you who don't know what John is talking about, I have what's called the Wholesale to Million Academy, where we have students in there. Let me show you proof. Okay. So if you want to sign up and join my join the academy, just go to coachwithkhang.com and let me show you. Okay. You're going to get access to our private Discord. Let me show you all the wins from the students. Okay. So that way you know this is real. This is not BS. So here's a student who she just closed her first deal. Here it is. So everyone who closed their first deal, I'll send them that trophy, $10,000. You see that? Okay, let me show you another one. Hold on a second. We got a lot of wins. Here's another student. Okay, this is John. John just closed another deal, not his first one, but another one for $5,000. Let me show you another one. Okay, hold on a second. Let me show you. Hold on. We got a lot of wins here. Oh, right here. Bam! Oh shoot! I don't know if I can share this. It's got his banking. Dude, 26,000. Okay, 26,000. Let me show you another one. What's this? It's a wire transfer. 7K. Lock up a property. $7,000 assignment from John. Here's another one from John. Like, I'm not making this up, guys. Like, this really happens. Because a lot of times what it is I think a lot of people, they have the work ethic, right? They watch all the video. Now they just need to get a little bit training, just a little bit tweak, telling you, hey, you just need to tweak this a little bit, do this, and then they'll crush it, right? And a lot of times that little mentorship, that little coaching, that little training will help you get there a lot quicker. Let me show you another win. Hold on a second. We got a lot of wins here. Hold on. Students at 85 seller, 80K. I just set them 2 deals closing in 1 week from earlier. Bam! Right here. 80,000, 2 deals close. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on. Like, we have a lot. Here's another one, but this is the whole screenshot. Okay, so I don't think they want me to share that. Here's another one. Okay, Kobe closed his first deal, $11,500. Okay. Now, once again, the academy is not for everyone. It's for those of you who's like, hey, Khang, dude, I need a little training. I want the hands-on coaching, the mentorship. I have the work ethic. But I think I tried it myself, you know, but I just can't seem to get a deal or actually consistently close a deal. Because sometimes I know some of you will close your first deal and then never close a deal before. We have students that done that and they go in the academy. And there are people who like, hey, Khang, I've done all the things. I get on the phone with the seller. I made the call, but I still can't seem to get a deal done, man. Right? So we'll give you all the training, all the support, all the guidance. I'll give you all the tools, give you all the paperwork, the contracts, the form. We'll show you how to use it. I'll even give you the scripts and showing you, we do a cold call role play. We show you exactly every step of the way. And you will never feel like you are alone. You're part of a team, a community, and we all help each other along the way. Right? Okay, so now you go there. All you do is just pull the list and call those people and make offer. That's all you do. Just call and then start making offer. Okay? Could I do it with no sales skill? Did you have sales background? No, Randy. You can't do this, dude, with no sales. Like Andrew, my student, has no sales background. Like majority of them don't. So they need more training. Like I said, I believe hard work will outbeat talent. Like my VAs. Just to give you a quick example, Randy, my VAs are from the Philippines. They're all girls. No sales background. No real estate background. So what we do is we come in along with training for like 2 weeks or so with the script, right? We got the script. We're going to show you. We're going to train you. And then she'll be like, okay, once you listen to the call, they sounds good. Boom. She puts them out to the real world and they start making calls. We got the list for them. We pulled the list. We got everything for them. They start calling. And now, Randy, those girls are putting property. They're filtering the leads. They're putting property in a contract and they're selling the deal. And that's what allows me, Randy, to obviously create, build my personal brand and create content. Otherwise, dude, I would be too busy. Right? I'll be too busy to involve in the business because all the things I have to do. Right? But so that's why I'm so confident that my academy can get any one of you to close your first or your next deal or start closing one deal a month. But you must have the work ethic. You must be coachable. And you got to put in the work. That is it. So I don't care if you have sales skills, no sales skills. I don't care if you're flipping burgers or you're a contractor or you work at a corporate America. It doesn't matter. Anyone can learn how to wholesale and anyone can do it. Okay? When I started my real estate career 12 years ago, no knowledge, no construction background, no real estate experience, like nothing. I remember my mentor asked me, so Khang, how much are things selling for in your area? Do you know? I said, I have no clue. I told him I have no clue. Lauren and I bought my first house at the age of 23. We end up paying $5,000 more than my neighbors. And it was just a few weeks apart. Lauren and I didn't know how to negotiate, right? So we end up paying more and we have no benefit. We're paying for the closing, we're paying for the closing costs. We're paying for all bunch of fees. We didn't know what we know today. So all of it can be learned and can be taught. Okay? Christopher said, who are we selling the deal to? So Christopher, once you get the property in a contract, we're going to sell it to the people who wants to buy, fix, and flip it, or who wants to buy it and fix it and keep it as a long-term rental. And I'll show you how to find those buyers. John said, how much is the program and all the tools needed? John, here's what's cool about when you join the academy, John. I will pay for your 1 year of the software. I'll give you all the online courses. I'll give you, so the online course itself, John, it's like $2,000. That's also included in the coaching program. All the scripts, all the tools, the contracts, everything. We have, there's 3 to 4 times a week where we have coaching session. It's virtual. It's on Zoom. Right? So everything is virtual. I built everything virtual. So it's on Zoom. We'll go through. We'll help you analyze the deal. We'll help you figure out everything. Right? If you have trouble finding comps, we'll do that. We'll look at your deals. We'll go through the script. We'll do cold call role play. We'll also show you how to figure out rehab costs, repair value, figure everything. Find the buyers, build a buyers list. And also too, John, is that in the academy, if you find the deal, we will do the other 50% of the work, which means we'll find a buyer for your deal. So you find the deal, we'll show you how to find the deal, how to negotiate the deal, how to lock the deal, and then we'll find the buyer for your deal. You will get access to my cash buy network nationwide. And we'll show you how to do it for you. We'll show you how to do it as well. Okay? So the best thing to do is, John, is just book a call, man. Book a call with coachwithkhang.com. Book a call with my team. And they'll go through the entire thing and they'll tell you, man. They'll and then obviously, I just want to make sure, John, that it is a good fit. which means that there are students where they want to sign up and we're like, okay, well, can you do this? Can you? And they're like, no. Well, dude, then you don't have to work. Like, you don't have the work ethic. You don't have whatever it takes. Like, you're not going to, like, don't waste your money. So there are times where we have to turn them down because they're not qualified. Like, I want to work with action taker, like doer. Because those are the ones who get results, and those are the people who makes me look good. Like, I want a good testimonial, man. I don't want a bunch of people goes in and, oh, man, and then be like, well, it doesn't work. No, you don't work. Like, we'll give you all the training, all the tools, all the guidance, all the support. And if you're not doing it, dude, it's going to make me look bad. So anyways, like, you know what I mean? Like yes, I want your money, but I also want to make sure that you are a good fit. Like, I don't want you to waste your money paying me when, dude, you're not going to do the work. Then what's the point? Save it. Okay. Randy said, off topic, but how important was it for you to have your wife by your side the whole entire journey? Oh, man. Randy, this is a good question. And Christopher, I'm going to come back to you and I'm going to show you how to build this, how to go into any city, any states with leveraging this software. And you can build a massive cash buyer list just like that. Before that, Christopher, before I go into any market, for example, like John, if I'm in the Philippines and I want to go into a different market, dude, I would have to spend months trying to analyze the market, figure out if that market is good for wholesaling, okay, and then start networking and building my cash buyer list before I can even go in. But like I said, this is 2025 with AI, with technology. It makes it so much more simple, and I'm going to show you how simple it is, okay? And if you can't do a wholesale in today's world, man, you ain't going to make it, okay? So let's go back. And let me answer your question, Randy. How important, dude? Extremely important. For me, anyway. But you need to understand, Randy, that there are people who are solo, who doesn't have no support, and can still crush it. But for me, because but if you are with somebody, that person, dude, needs to understand, and you both need to be on the same page for it to work. Otherwise, dude, it's going to be a conflict. So let's just say that you're with somebody that doesn't support what you do. And you want freedom, you want to get rich, and you want to make a lot of money, because not just for you, but because you want to do all these things for your families. But they like, well, you know, you're working way too many hours. You don't have time for me. And you make money, they spend money. The money goes in and it goes out. Dude, you will never get rich. You'll never become financially free. So finding the right partners is very, very crucial to your success. If that is the question you asking me. So is it important? Yeah, dude, I became the man that I am today because of my wife. I am where I'm at because of God and the wifey. Like, Lon is very good with managing and saving money. Right? And we're on the same page as where we want to be in life. We don't want to work for someone till we're 65. So we made the sacrifice. I remember Lon and I had to sleep in a car because we didn't want to pay $69 or $59.99 for a hotel room to catch an early flight. And I remember going to a restaurant trying to order a spring roll. At that time, it was only $1.50. And Lon stopped me. And she said, Khang, we can't afford this. Like, it's not in our budget. But she said, I promise you one day you can have all the spring roll you want. So you bet you. So now when I go to a Vietnamese restaurant, you bet you. I always order a damn spring roll. Because it reminds me how far we have came from. The sacrifice, the price that we have to pay. So I can have all the damn spring roll that I want today. So Randy said, I asked because I'm very self-driven, but with a support team such as the G-Friend would be beneficial, but at the same time, it would be a distraction. Randy, dude, you don't need to go look for a woman, man, to give you the support for you to become successful. Dude, I think when you're alone, dude, when you can just lock in, focus, you have all the time in the world to build your empire and no one to distract you, even better. But you have to be self-motivated. Once again, if you are self-motivated and you are driven, you don't need someone to cheer you on, man. You need to be your own cheerleader. And you need to know of your why, Randy. And you need to understand, Randy, is that when you're seeking for the woman is also seeking for the man. And what does a girl want in a man? They want a man who's driven. They want a man who, who has a career or business. Like, they're locked in. They're not looking for a boy. So most people don't understand that they're trying to look for the woman, but they're a boy. They're still partying, clubbing, drinking, getting drunk, have no money in the bank, have no future, no goals, no visions. Dude, a woman is also looking for a man. And as a man, we're also looking for a woman. We're looking for someone who settled down, who understands, right? Right? A woman who wants to build a family. Not like go party, clubbing, drinking, and dancing on TikTok and shaking their booties. You see what I'm saying? So as you are trying to build yourself to become the man, you will eventually attract the woman that will come into your life, my friend. So attract, not chase. I hope that will I'll put you in the right spot, man. John said, how's the market at the moment? John, what's the cool thing about wholesaling, John? It doesn't matter what market condition we're in. Up, down, sideways, zigzag, it doesn't matter. Because every market, John, needs a middleman. Ask me this question, John. Why is Amazon still alive? Why is Uber still alive? Because they're middleman, my friend. You see, Amazon doesn't own any product, but they control all the product. They're the middleman. They connect between seller, okay, and buyers. Uber connect between drivers and passenger, okay? But they don't own any car. Same thing with wholesaling. We don't own any house, okay? All we do is we are connecting seller and buyers. And in every market, John, there will be seller and there will be buyers. It's what makes the world goes around. We're right here, bro. We're in the middle. If you can find something for cheap, you can sell for more, John. It doesn't matter who's the president. It doesn't matter what market condition we're in. If you can find something for cheap, you can sell for more. The end. Okay? Hold on a second. Let me log back into TikTok Live. I think this information is good for people to kind of watch it and understand what's going on here. Because I know a lot of times people don't understand, and like you're contradicting, or hurting yourself for not getting started in the game because you have all these noise that said, oh, it doesn't work, I'm not smart enough, or the market's too competitive, it's too this, it's too that. No. It's you, the one that's actually holding you back from winning and succeeding. You're the only one. You see, winners will always find ways to make money. Will always find excuses. I can't say that word because I don't want to be canceled. But winners always win. You see, so John, like my whole thing is every single time when someone asks me, hey, is this competitive? Is this a good time? Is that a good time or is it a bad time? I always say this, dude. You're either making money or you're making excuses. Which one is it? If you're making money, then I know you're not making excuses. And if you make excuses, I know you ain't got any dinero. You ain't got any money. Peso. Okay, peso. If you're in the Philippines, John. So you need to understand that winners will always find ways to make money regardless of the market condition, regardless of who's the president. And that's why winners win and lose. Okay? So here's how you find, Christopher, back to your question. It has never been so easy before, Christopher, to build a large, massive cash buyer list nationwide. So literally, I can go into your market, Christopher, And with this software, I can get 1,000 cash buyer just like that. Now, let me take up another notch. Let me tell you how crazy this software is. John, it actually does the work for you. I'm sorry, Christopher. So you go in this software. So recently, they just upgrade the software where they take ChatGPT and they integrate it into the software. So I can go into the software. I can say, hey, I'm currently in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. Can you tell me what is the hottest market to wholesale in my state? Okay. How many cash buyers actively buying in the area? And can you tell me what is the average wholesale fee that I can potentially make? And what is the average house price goes for? It tells you all of that with a click of a button. And then you can also even tell it to do this, Christopher. Can you pull up all the tax delinquents in my city or in that hot zip code that you just mentioned? Bam! It'll pull up any list you want. And then once you get the property under contract, Chris, oh my gosh, dude, you go back into the software and then you can say something like this, Christopher. You can go back into the software and you can say, hey, I just got this property under contract at 123 Main Street. Can you pull up all the cash buyers that are buying in this city? Bam! Like you can talk to it and it will do the work for you. So here's something that I have not been talking about at all, or I'm going to share with you. So recently we had to let go of some of my VAs because of what this software is doing. I have to let go of one of my admin VA because the software has already do the work that she's supposed to do. So now we can go in here, we can pull the list. The skip tracing is already there. We can go into any market and say, find out what market is hot, and you can jump into it. So you don't have to do a bunch of time researching. And that's what I was doing, paying my VA to do, is do the research to find out which market is hot so we can go in. But now the software has already done it for us. So we have to let them go. Dude, you can literally do this. You can make 25, 30, 50 a month just with you, the software, and one or two VAs. This is how powerful technology has gotten because of AI. And some of you think that like, your job is secure until it's being replaced by AI. Now, I'm not saying that to scare you, but I'm saying that is so you can stay ahead of the curve. You need to build a second stream of income, something that you can depend on. So you need to increase your skill set. So you don't want to wait until you lose the job and then build another. Dude, it might be too late. So you need to start now. So here's what I'm going to do. So comment, Christopher, comment in your city, your states. I'm going to show you how easy it is to pull cash buyer right now. Serena, welcome to the live. Serena said, hey, Khang, I have purchased the complete wholesaling playbook. Is it different than what you're talking about? And hi, it is me. Serena, I don't know what you mean by, is it different than what you are talking about? So the thing is, Serena, with the playbook, congrats. So the playbook is basically an online course, right? So you watch the video and then you do it yourself. But the academy is where we do it with you, right? And then if you come across any hurdle, any speed bump, any question, instead of spending countless of hours trying to figure out yourself, Serena, you get to be a part of a private Discord where you can, and Facebook where you can ask questions. You'll be like, hey, I just talked to a seller and the seller said, hey, here's the price that they want. What do I offer? We will show you how to like, hey, figure out, we'll walk you through and say, hey, let's get on and figure out what the property's worth. Let's analyze, help you analyze the deal. And then we'll come up with an offer price. And then you can call the seller back and you can make the offer. If you record the call with the seller, we can listen to your call and we can help you analyze the call and tell you what you did right, what you did wrong. So it's way more intense training to help you obviously speed up the process. So the hand-on coaching, Serena, is different than getting the course. Getting a course is like, okay, here's everything you need to know. Go do it. right? A coaching is like, hey, I did this. I ran into a problem. Let me help you solve it. Do this, go back, do that, right? So I hope that makes sense. Oh, so I see I can pay a different since I have paid $2K since I have a deal to offset the cost of buying this. Serena, so now your question to me is, okay, you pay for the playbook. Can you take that and then apply that towards the coaching? Serena, hit me up on Discord. I'll get you taken care of. Okay? It's not something I oftenly do, but Serena, I'll do it for you. Okay? So if you're a purchaser and you want to upgrade and you be like, hey, Khang,